I see the professor has his want for a Surging Sparks booster pack here. Weird, but I'm not gonna yuck his yum. I'll just leave this here and... Oh ho ho ho! Christmas forms. I love Christmas. I love forms. Let's combine them. I got all the forms here from a Surging Sparks booster pack. Here's what I got. Not the most exciting, but what is exciting is the gimmick I made for these forms. We're gonna jump straight in and let's experience a jolly Christmas spirit. But wait, this place seems a bit bare. I think we need to decorate. Let's start with a tree. We always need a Christmas tree. The gimmick with all these Christmas mons, save for one, is that they combine together like some kind of hideously overpowered Dondozo Tatsugiri thing. And of course, we need a tree to decorate, and so I chose Exeggcutor. This massive pine needle-laden lad who is, for the most part, rather naked save for two distinct ornaments. Two head orbs, one red and one blue, with their own faces a little disgruntled and a tad derpy. Taking after its Alolan form there. And I know it looks kind of bare, but I promise you by the time we're done here, it's going to be filled with jolly joy, as well as stats, and not just that singular grass typing. I kind of just want to give this thing a big hug, even though it would be the prickliest thing known to the Pokemon world. Exeggcutor Christmas form, the Christmas tree Pokemon, a pure grass type. This unique form of Exeggcutor is found in a distant region, where they band together with other Pokemon to survive and gain newfound powers from the collaboration. They exude a strange energy that makes anyone nearby feel jolly and enhances the taste of food when eaten in their presence. In this region, trainers catch Exeggcutor to use as festive trees, often alongside their partnering Pokemon. Exeggcutor gets a special Yuletide ability called Decorated, where this Pokemon gains secondary typings and stats depending on their decorations. Next, let's add in some ornaments. First, let's start with Primeape. Yes, I know, it's weird. Okay, this one was the hardest to do and is a bit of a stretch. Primeape is kind of like a pig monkey orb already, and the closest thing I could sort of attribute it to is the classic orb ornament. Just like an ornament made of glass or something, now with a pattern of a Primeape on it. Look, I know there's so many orb Pokemon already that'd work better, Electrode and all that, but I set myself this challenge, so I must do penance for my sins. I wanted it to look a little bit happier in its orb form. It's happy because it gets to spend all day with the full of joy Exeggcutor and rubs off on one another. Primeape Christmas form, the Christmas orb Pokemon, a fighting and rock type. This unique form of Primeape is found in a distant region. They have a hardy body but are quite slow, having to resort to rolling around. By providing Exeggcutor with their strength, they can be ferried around. They have much less of a temper compared to their Kanto relatives, usually only being flung into a rage if they are rolled around or kicked accidentally. This form of Primeape has the ability Sturdy. Attaching Primeape to the Exeggcutor would give it plus 34 to its defense stat. I know that sounds low, but you can put all the decorations on. We are creating a Yuletide monster here, people. Next we are doing Tapu Lele, and this one came to me quite quickly because of the shape of Tapu Lele. I decided to turn it into a Christmas light. Yeah, that's right, a little fairy light. Get it? I wanted to keep the general face of Lele the same, but everything else changes quite drastically. The main change is the bottom half that would be a bright glowing red Christmas light, or maybe it'd shift between different colours, but it'd have that frosted glass texture to it as well. The top part of Lele now just looks like a generic plastic cap, but what makes it so funny is that it kind of looks like one of those tall female Russian caps. It kind of just turned out as such a happy accident. And to wrap it all up into a neat little gifted package, I turned the two head swirls into, that's right, candy canes, and a knitted sweater shirt for its little body there. This is no longer the guardian of Alola, it's the captain of Christmas. Tapu Lele Christmas form, the Christmas light Pokemon, an ice and fairy type. This unique form of Tapu Lele is found in a distant region. They have a delicious smell to them and their natural light causes predators to flock to them. By residing in Exeggcutor's leaves, they provide an aura of vitality to the Pokemon. It can fold itself up to look like a festive light and will sleep hanging off wires as to look like sad lights. If startled, it will unleash a flash of light and try to run away, screaming like a carol is being sung. This form of Tapu Lele has the ability Illuminate. With Tapu Lele on Exeggcutor, it gets a plus 34 boost to special defense. Slowly the Yuletide power rises. Snorlax is a bit of a silly one. While not something you'd normally attach to the tree, I thought it'd make sense to do a Homer getting his head turned into a donut and make Snorlax into a gingerbread man. That's right, the gumdrop buttons and all. I wanted this cookie Snorlax that unfortunately is so enamored with its own delicious body, it has nibbled on itself the fool. It'd be a very flat Pokemon, and if you hadn't noticed the sizes yet of all these Pokemon, they're very small babies, perfect for putting on the tree. Now, I don't have a milk Pokemon here in this video or anything, but I do have the perfect predator to that of Yuletide Snorlax, but we'll cover that a bit later. That's about it, it's just a Bicky Snorlax. Snorlax Christmas form, the Christmas cookie Pokemon, a normal and fairy type. This unique form of Snorlax is found in a distant region. They use Exeggcutor to hide within as to not be eaten whole. In exchange, Snorlax produces energy-packed beams that Exeggcutor feeds on. They can regenerate their bodies, albeit slowly, and so they must be careful due to an incredibly sweet smell that comes from them. It's a tradition for some to create cookies that look similar to this Pokemon. Snorlax in this form has the ability Weak Armor, although Regenerator might have worked as well. Of course, with Gingerbread Snorlax attached, Exeggcutor gets a plus 34 to their HP stat. But we need something under the tree, a gift for all the good people out there. So it's time for a Toy Paradox Pokemon for Fuecoco. At first I was just going to make Fuecoco another orb ornament, but I thought it'd be more fun to turn it into one of those alligator games. You know, the ones with the push-in teeth that bite down on you if you push the wrong one. It's like bomb defusal for kitties. It's a flat on the ground Fuecoco with some extra funky looking chompers. Some even push down, and instead of the fiery crest, it's a light up headpiece that I imagine would unleash just like the loudest klaxon noise you can imagine. I'd say that instead of maybe just walking alongside Exeggcutor or something, I think that Fuecoco would be biting down on their leg instead. Silly but fun biting, yay! Plastic Pinch, the Paradox Pokemon, are normal and fire type. A Pokemon found within the pages of a mysterious catalogue, a popular gift given to kids during certain holidays. The teeth of Plastic Pinch have special mechanisms within. If a certain tooth is pushed down, it bites down hard. It can control the strength of the bite from a harmless bump to bone-breaking chomps. The strange globe on their head will light up and ring out loudly if someone wins the game they were programmed for. This Plastic Pinch and all other Toy Paradox Pokemon have the ability Whimsicott, which boosts the Pokemon's most proficient stat in misty terrain, or if the Pokemon is holding booster energy. With Fuecoco attached in the loosest term, it gives a plus 34 to the attack stat. The tree's looking a lot better now, but we need something extra, a topper for the tree, and you get two choices. While only one can be attached to the top at the time, these toppers give Exeggcutor a stat boost and secondary typing. Glimmora was the perfect Pokemon for our first topper. While it does look like a flower, it also reminds me of a star. Ditching any religious ties here, our Glimmora here no longer can fold up and is made of a beautiful sparkling golden star instead. One fun thing I only really noticed in the art of Glimmora is the sort of lazily glowing eyes that it has within the crystal, not like plastered onto the face. So with the star, it gave me almost the perfect lines to connect together to make it look like it has just this joyous look on its face. And if you don't think that's just not the most jolly looking star we can have, then, well, get out. No Christmas for you. Glimmora Christmas form, the Christmas star Pokemon, a steel and fairy type. This unique form of Glimmora is found in a distant region, usually found on the top of an Exeggcutor, providing a powerful boon for the Pokemon. Glimmora have a type of bioluminescence that causes them to glow a bright light during the night. They can cause a blast of blinding light on enemies while Exeggcutor runs up to crush them with all of their weight. This form of Glimmora has the ability Victory Star. With the power of the glowing star of energy on Exeggutor's head, they gain plus 34 special attack and get the Fairy typing. I thought maybe Steel, but a bright glowing jolly star works so well for the Fairy typing. Now, I didn't do Rufflet here, I kind of just absorbed it into Braviary, as I couldn't think of two separate good ideas for them here. Braviary now isn't a star or anything, but our other best topper, the Angel. Again, we are removing it from the religious experiences here, and instead it's sort of an oddly angel-shaped looking Braviary. The bird Pope here has this sort of frozen in time expression and pose. It has legs, but you can't see them below the skirt of feathers it has here. It probably just perches upon the Exeggcutor and is constantly exuding this jolly Christmas chant that inspires everyone to be in the Christmas spirit. This one's probably the funniest and weirdest looking one of the video, and I know that's wild to say in the same video as Alligator Game Fuecoco and Primeape Orb. Braviary Christmas form, the Christmas Angel Pokemon, a fairy and flying type. This unique form of Braviary is found in a distant region. They are incredibly kind and will provide aid to Exeggcutor that asks for it, giving it a unique power that seems like a miracle. They have a powerful wingspan. While not very fast, they are capable of picking up a Pokemon 100 times their weight easily. It will even carry around Iron Gifter to try and find their presence around the world. Braviary has the ability Serene Grace. And with Braviary on top, instead of Glimmora, it gets a plus 34 to its speed stat. And, through the power of Christmas, it gets the flying type. It's a Christmas miracle. Perhaps you could still have the topper attached to maybe a different part, but that would make it very strong. With all of the options attached, our Christmas tree Exeggcutor breaks through and becomes a 700 base stat total monster. And I think that's very fitting with the unstoppable power of Christmas. Oh, but what's that? Do you hear it? The jingle bells? The strange mechanical whirrings? That's right, it's a Christmas form for Iron Bundle. So last year for Christmas I made Jollibird, the Evo to Delibird. So why don't we instead give an Evo to Iron Bundle based off Jollibird? The idea was to keep it similar to that of Jollibird, but also play up the sort of bundle thing that Iron Bundle normally has. Here it's used more as a Santa sack though. Instead of filled with water and ice, it's filled with gifts and cheer that will fire out at all the naughty people of the world with deadly force. I don't want to go all weird here, but the feat of Iron Gifter turned out so well, and looks like they'd work really well as sort of a Christmas sleigh stand-in. Iron Gifter doesn't need anyone else but itself. It's Santa and the sleigh all combined together in a sickening combo, although it might ask for Braviary every now and then. While Iron Gifter can't attach to Exeggcutor, it's an integral part of the life cycle of the Pokemon here, as it definitely hunts down the gingerbread Snorlax to try and devour them, and maybe even fights the other Pokemon, so, you know, only combined together can they survive the onslaught that is Iron Gifter. Family's important during Christmas, folks. This is sounding more like an episode from Futurama as we go along. Iron Gifter, the Paradox Pokemon, an Ice and Water type. A robot featured in a paranormal magazine, it is the upgrade to the Iron Bundle, capable of both sucking in and launching anything it wants stored in its large sack. It has a jolly nature and loves to give gifts to people. If someone asks for something specific, Iron Gifter will search endlessly for it till it can provide the item in question. In battle, it collects rocks and blasts them out imbued with frosty energy for all those on the naughty list. Iron Gifter has the ability Quark Drive. And so, with Christmas collected into a force of unstoppable egg tree power, this video was my gift to you. In return, could I possibly ask for the gift of a like and sub on this video? And maybe even a comment on what you thought of the designs of the video. Or Cole, you know, if you think I deserve that. But with that, I wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, or just a happy end of the year. I appreciate all of you, and I'll probably see you in the new year. Thanks for watching.
Jesus Christ, what is that? What is that?
I don't know.